The NFL is buzzing today with news of a reworked contract for Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. This significantly alters the team's salary cap situation, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a major development, that will have ripple effects throughout the league. Teams will be reevaluating their own strategies in light of this.
What are your initial thoughts on the restructuring itself? Was it a necessary move for the Browns?
It seems like a calculated risk. They're clearly betting on Watson's performance and future potential. The financial implications are substantial, though.
Exactly. It's a gamble,
Right.
but one that could pay off handsomely if Watson returns to his pre-suspension form. So let's delve deeper into the specifics. The details of the reworked contract haven't been fully disclosed, but reports suggest a significant reduction in guaranteed money. What's your take on that aspect?
That's a key point. Reducing guaranteed money protects the Browns from potential future liabilities if Watson doesn't perform as expected. It's a smart move, I think, from a risk management perspective.
Right. It also allows them more financial flexibility to address other needs on the roster, right? They can now potentially pursue free agents or make other strategic moves.
Precisely. This frees up cap space that can be used to strengthen other positions, potentially improving the team's overall competitiveness.
So it's a strategic maneuver to balance risk and reward while also improving the team's overall competitiveness.
Exactly. It's a complex situation with many moving parts, but this restructuring seems to address several key concerns for the Browns.
Let's shift our focus to Deshaun Watson himself. His performance last season was inconsistent, to say the least. How much of a factor was that in the renegotiation?
His performance undoubtedly played a role. The Browns are clearly hoping this restructuring will motivate him to perform at a higher level. The reduced guaranteed money adds pressure, but also provides an incentive.
It's a high-stakes gamble on his potential. Do you think the pressure will positively or negatively affect his performance?
That's difficult to predict. Some players thrive under pressure, while others crumble. Only time will tell how Watson responds to this new situation.
It's a fascinating dynamic. The pressure is on, but the potential reward is significant for both Watson and the Browns.
Absolutely. It's a make-or-break situation for both parties involved.
Beyond the Browns, how might this contract restructuring impact the rest of the NFL?
It sets a precedent. Other teams with high-priced quarterbacks might consider similar strategies to manage their salary cap. It could lead to a trend of renegotiated contracts.
It could also influence how teams approach contract negotiations in the future, making them more conscious about guaranteeing large sums of money.
Definitely. Teams will likely scrutinize player performance more closely before committing to long-term, heavily guaranteed deals.
This could lead to a shift in the power dynamic between players and teams in contract negotiations.
Precisely. It's a significant development that will likely reshape the landscape of NFL contracts in the coming years.
What's the fan reaction been like? Are Brown fans optimistic or concerned about this move?
It's a mixed bag. Some fans are optimistic, believing it gives the team more flexibility to improve the roster. Others are concerned about the risk involved.
Yeah, it's understandable. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding Watson's future performance. It's a high-risk, high-reward situation for the fans as well.
Exactly. The fans are invested in the team's success, and this move directly impacts their hopes for the upcoming season.
It's a bold move by the Browns organization, and the fan reaction reflects the inherent uncertainty.
Absolutely. The coming season will be crucial in determining whether this was a wise decision.
Looking ahead, what's the long-term outlook for both Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns?
For Watson, it's a chance to prove himself. He needs to perform consistently and justify the Browns' faith in him. For the Browns, it's about building a winning team around him.
It's a pivotal moment for both. Success hinges on Watson's performance and the team's ability to support him.
Precisely. The next few seasons will be crucial in determining the long-term success of this strategy.
It's a gamble, but one with potentially significant rewards if it pays off.
Indeed. The future is uncertain, but the stakes are undeniably high.
Were there any alternative strategies the Browns could have pursued instead of restructuring Watson's contract?
They could have explored trading him, though finding a team willing to take on his contract would have been challenging. They could also have tried to work with him on a performance-based incentive structure.
Trading him would have been a significant undertaking, and a performance-based structure might not have provided the same level of cap relief.
Exactly. Restructuring seemed like the most viable option given their circumstances.
It's a testament to the complexity of managing NFL contracts and the difficult decisions teams face.
Absolutely. It's a high-stakes game with many variables to consider.
How will this impact the Browns' approach to free agency? Will they be more aggressive now?
They'll certainly have more flexibility. They can now target players they might not have been able to afford before. Their approach will likely be more aggressive.
This could significantly alter their roster composition and potentially boost their competitiveness.
It opens up a lot of possibilities. They can now focus on filling specific needs and strengthening weak areas.
It's a strategic move that could have a cascading effect on their overall team performance.
Precisely. It's a significant development with far-reaching implications.
How do you think other NFL teams will react to this news? Will it influence their own contract negotiations?
It will certainly be a topic of discussion. Other teams with high-priced quarterbacks might reconsider their own contract structures. It could lead to a more cautious approach to long-term deals.
It sets a precedent and could influence the overall dynamics of NFL contract negotiations.
Absolutely. It's a significant development with implications that extend beyond the Browns organization.
Let's revisit the risk factor. What are the biggest potential downsides of this reworked contract?
The biggest risk is that Watson doesn't perform well. If he continues to struggle, the Browns will have invested significant resources in a player who isn't delivering.
And that would leave them in a difficult position, both financially and competitively.
Exactly. It's a high-stakes gamble, and the potential for a negative outcome is substantial.
It's a calculated risk, but the potential consequences are significant.
Indeed. The Browns are betting big on Watson's potential for a turnaround.
So to summarize, this reworked contract is a complex situation with significant implications for the Browns, Deshaun Watson, and the NFL as a whole.
It's a high-stakes gamble with the potential for significant rewards, but also substantial risks. Only time will tell if it pays off.
Goodbye and see you in the next video.